your Indian consumer.
The mobile market really seems to be very hot recently because of the release of two really cool devices, one being the OnePlus 2 by the OnePlus and the new Moto X. The 2016 flagship killer starting at just $329 for the 16GB model and $389 to quadruple the storage up to 64GB. The OnePlus 2 will become available on August 11th, just 2 weeks from now, for customers with an invite. With it, you get a full HD display, though don't be disappointed just yet. While the resolution is the same as last year, the display quality is significantly improved, with better color reproduction and viewing angles. The story is the same with the camera, which retains the last year's 13-megapixel resolution and instead improves upon the optics. RAM ranges from 3GB to 4GB depending on your selected storage capacity, though keep in mind that only the 64GB variant with the 4GB RAM will be available at the launch, while the processor remains the 64-bit octa-core Snapdragon 810 regardless of configuration, clocked at 1.8 GHz. The backing is removable this time around, though the battery still isn't, and OnePlus is bringing its style swap cover with the option for bamboo, wood, Kevlar and sandstone. The fingerprint scanner on the front is elegantly even faster than Touch ID on the smart iPhone 6. And the hardware profile switcher is a delightful feature portrayed over from the iPhone as well. All in all, the OnePlus 2 seems to be an insanely great package for the price and a formidable contender to the likes of even the Galaxy S6 and other top-tier devices. But a killer, we still doubt that. Regardless of its high-end specs, it still seems to have some flaws. There are plenty of concerns over the Snapdragon 810 SoC inside, which generally shows signs of being overheated. It also misses quite a few components that, while not uncommonly absent on sub-$400 smartphones. Components which we are talking about is the NFC, wireless charging or quick charging. There is also no microSD expansion available. So be sure that you're comfortable with the storage configuration you order. And then finally, of course, there is the invite system, which is quite a complicated process to order this cell phone. But now OnePlus claims that it has simplified the process and the invite system will be much more convenient. Now if we take a look at the Moto X, which does not claim itself to be a flagship killer, as it itself is a flagship device. The spec sheet is similar to that of the OnePlus 2, the same hexa-core, 2 fewer cores than the OnePlus 2 Snapdragon 810, Snapdragon 808 processor used in the LG G4, 3GB of RAM matching the baseline OnePlus 2 configuration but falling 1GB short of the upgraded model. A 21-megapixel camera with a 2.0 aperture and a 5.7 QHD IPS LCD display. Like the OnePlus 2, the Moto X has a diverse selection of materials for the backing, including silicone rubber, leather and wood. Though unlikely the OnePlus 2, your choice is just a one-time permanent one, as the back cover is non-removable. In exchange, you're given a much more flexible range of customizations going beyond backplates to offer dozens of colors for both the front and the back of the phone. But not just that, you can even customize the buttons, speakers and the metal engraving on the back. You can also choose your storage capacity on the Moto X with the option of 16, 32 and 64GB available. And for the first time, the Moto X offers micro SD card slot, which provides up to 128GB of additional storage. On top of that, the Moto X style has a water repellent coating. We are unsure that if the Moto X sports the IPX7 coating like that of the Moto G, as the company does not claim that. What it lacks is a fingerprint scanner when you compare it with the OnePlus 2, but where it has an upper edge is the fast charging. It has a similar fast charging like the Galaxy S6, and the company has made bold claims that the fast charging is almost 50% more capability than the Galaxy S6. That makes the Moto X the fastest charging mobile phone right now in the market, and they also claim the mobile to give a 10 hours runtime with just 15 minutes of charging. And then we have the camera. Motorola hasn't historically been one of the first picks when it comes to mobile camera. The camera on the first and the second generation of Moto X's were very underwhelming, with slow shutter, washed out colors, poor low light performances and a lack of detail. We were promised a greater camera experience on the first Moto X with its clear pixel technology, but in the end we were left disappointed. This year, Motorola has put a huge emphasis on the camera, saying that not only is the Moto X style camera better than the previous Moto X generation, but it is also going to be the best in the class. This is a really bold claim, beating out even the iPhone 6 and the Galaxy S6 in imagery. Of course, we are highly skeptical of such bold claims, but we are holding full judgment until we can see the camera's true performance once the Moto X launches with final software in September. So now, to answer the final question, which cell phone should you go for in between these two options? So to keep it short, we can put it this way, that the OnePlus 2 is cheaper than the Moto X, sure, but the decision really becomes very difficult, especially when both the phones are such good options and you really can't seem to go wrong either way. But there are plenty more factors that just cost. Availability will be one of the biggest. Though you can manage to get your hands on the OnePlus 2 earlier than the Moto X, you are also getting more features in the Moto X out of the price difference, with more customization options, NFC, fast charging, and Motorola's other useful services like the Moto Display and Moto Assist. And if you're that kind of a person who likes customization, of course you will love the Moto Maker. If you're someone who likes the stock Android experience, Moto X is the ultimate option for you. Of course, it's hard to give a definite answer on the better deal until we have properly tested and compared both the phones ourselves. But for now, we are not convinced that the OnePlus 2 is going to be quite the flagship killer that it claims to be, when it has Moto X kind of phone standing in its way. So that was our take on both the devices. What are your thoughts? Are you going to buy the OnePlus 2 when it launches, or are you going to save money for the Moto X? Please let us know in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you have liked it, and we are coming up with a lot of Moto G videos, so do subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.